Hey, what's up everyone and welcome to another very exciting video. I'm Gamer Mars and today we're talking about the best light gun games on the Nintendo Wii. Now first of all, this is the Nyko Perfect Shot. This is the icon. As you can see, there's a rubber band here to hold it together. This little thing broke off. So I'm going to recommend the Nyko Perfect Shot over the icon. Now the thing about these is your fingers will get tired from pressing that trigger after a few levels. This never happens to me using the Wii Zapper. So if you buy any of these peripherals, I highly recommend that you get the Wii Zapper over the handguns. I'd only really recommend the handguns if you want to 100% buy into the fantasy like I did. I tend to use this one if I need to use a submachine gun in a game. And if I gotta use handguns, I'll be using these bad boys. And if I got unlimited ammo with a shotgun, I'll be using this bad boy. This shotgun is completely brandless. It came with a game called Dino Strike, which is a game I do not recommend at all. It was terrible. If you've got nostalgia for it, good for you. I can't stand that game. I mostly use the shotgun for House of the Dead Overkill, because in House of the Dead Overkill, you get a shotgun with unlimited ammo. It's actually quite therapeutic. Anyways, those are my recommendations for the peripherals you should use. Each peripheral completes each fantasy. Just another tip, if you're going to play these games on Nintendo Wii, I highly recommend you get the component cables. You see, modern day TVs don't look that great with those RCA outputs. So you're going to want to do yourself a favor and get the component cables because it actually looks pretty decent. Next up, we're going to need some games. This is Medal of Honor Heroes 2. In these arcade mode levels, you go through a level as a shooter on rails in the Medal of Honor universe. What I love about this game is the sound design. You shoot a gun and it makes a sound that just really pops. Now, the reason I've got it so low on this list is because there are times where they require you to use motion controls through a level. And I'm not sure if you remember what it was like playing games on Nintendo Wii, but you were fiddling around a lot trying to get things to trigger using motion controls. You get to relive that experience a fair bit playing this one. Next of all, I'm going to recommend Dead Space Extraction.
Get off of me! Christ, what the fuck's going on?
You will be needing the Wii Zapper for this one because this game does require you to use the nunchuck. Now, you can connect the nunchuck to this, but it just doesn't feel right to me. When I'm using the handgun, I want to hold it with two hands. I don't want to have one hand on the nunchuck. Dead Space Extraction is actually one of the light gun games that features a strong story mode.
Sam? Are you okay?
Maxine, God, it's good to hear you.
And that's how it's made its way onto this list. It's a decent light gun game, but the story, it just really hits a spot. Next up, we have Gunblade New York and LA Machineguns, the arcade pack. I actually bought this just recently just to make this video. And I can't tell you how much of a great feeling it was being reunited with Gunblade New York. Because you see, the last time I played Gunblade New York was when I went to see the South Park movie. So to anyone who grew up in the 90s and remembers those light gun games where you just shot at polygonal graphics with no textures, this is that type of game. It was actually a lot of fun to revisit. I strongly recommend it. But then again, I have strong nostalgia for that game. You may not, so maybe avoid it if you don't like the graphics. Next up, I'm going to recommend Ghost Squad by Sega. This is actually one of the best light gun games that money can buy. My only issue with it is that it's a very short playthrough. It can be beaten in one run. You play as a member of a tactical response squad, and you go on missions. One of these missions includes you being on Air Force One and you have to save the president.
The president is inside. Enter with caution.
Drop your weapon! I thought I smelled rats! Eliminate them!
At least I believe it's Air Force One. This game is great. It doesn't take itself too seriously. I mean, just check out this interaction with the president.
Are you alright, Mr. President? You saved my life again. Thank you.
But the thing that I like best about this game is that there's a party mode. And in that party mode, you can play as a ninja, throwing shoryukens And yeah, that's a lot of fun. Now, the next part of this list comes in two parts. This is Resident Evil The Umbrella Chronicles. This is Resident Evil The Darkside Chronicles. Now, I love Resident Evil. You may have to be a Resident Evil fan to like these games, because I picked this one up when I wasn't a Resident Evil fan and I did not like it one bit. I played Resident Evil The Darkside Chronicles when I was a Resident Evil fan, and I effing loved it. You can go back to Raccoon City and play as my boy Leon Kennedy or Claire Redfield.
Claire, are you alright? Where'd it go?
What was that?
In this one, you can go back to Resident Evil 3's Raccoon City and play as Jill Valentine or Carlos. The reason I still don't like this one more now that I am a Resident Evil fan is just the fact that it is too difficult. But if you're highly skilled at video games, you may like this one. Both these games require you to use that Resident Evil strategy. You know, ammo conservation, save all your good guns for the boss fight. Remember what I said about sound design and guns just having to sound perfect when you're playing a Lycon game? The sound when you are firing a gun in either of these games is effing terrible. It sounds hollow AF. Anyways, Resident Evil The Darkside Chronicle is one of my favourite Resident Evil games of all time. A Lycon game that takes place in Raccoon City in the police station. It's as awesome as it sounds. And you know what? When it comes to Lycon games, they do like story. These two games do not have that problem. Check it out. Now, last but not least,
The House of the Dead. Overkill.
This whole thing is widely considered to be the best Lycon game you can get on console. Now, I might prefer Resident Evil The Darkside Chronicles, but I wouldn't be able to successfully argue that it is a better game than House of the Dead Overkill. This game nails the sound design, it nails the satisfaction you get out of shooting zombies, and there's a lot of fun to be had in this game because it has a lot of humor. As you can see from the cover of the box, this game takes a lot of inspiration from the grindhouse genre. And if you look up its Wikipedia entry, you'll notice that one of the characters, Detective Isaac Washington, is based on every Sam Jackson character ever.
What's up, motherfucker?
Detective Isaac Washington actually held the Guinness Book of Records for most swears in a video game.
Shit, man. I think I slept with that bitch.
I'm not sure if that record still stands, but it held the record at the time. Oh, and there's none of this ammo conservation BS going on here. Check it out, guys. You won't regret it. And that's it. Those are my recommendations for light gun shooters on the Wii. Now, guys, don't forget to let me know what you think. Were there any games I missed? Are there any peripherals you recommend? Let me know about your experiences playing light gun games with Nintendo Wii in the comment section below. Anyways, that's it from me. See ya.